All right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the weekend. It is time for another episode of A Blind Guy,
His wife,
Their Life. On this channel, we spend every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 11:15 a.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time with you as we explore entertainment, careers, and health and wellness, all while changing the narrative of what it means to be normal by shifting the focus from disabled to being differently able. Every episode, we have fabulous guests that join us. We always end with a plant-based treat by Chef LaQuita Marie.
So let's talk about this plant-based treat, Corey, because I'm over here doing tech stuff, but I am super excited about today's plant-based treat.
Today's plant-based
So should we give them a hint? Like, I don't know. What do you think? Because this
I'll
is
just
cool.
tell them it's a combination of sweet and savory.
I'm going to give you a hint, guys. Look at here.
Pizza pockets or hot pockets.
There you
all
go.
Right, that's
so
all.
Now you see where we're going to go with this. Plant-based pizza pockets or hot pockets. Now, don't forget, you can always keep LaQuita Marie and I fresh and energized if you just buy me a cup of coffee. Buy me a coffee.
Now, Corey, when you say buy me a coffee, are you talking about our exclusive donation system that we've got going on here?
Right. Yes. We have shifted away from Patreon and we have moved to Buy Me a Coffee, where you can make a one-time donation by buying us 1 cup, 2 cup, 3 cup, 150 cups of coffee, and all the proceeds go towards Atumpan Edutainment by at our 501c3 nonprofit, and you can get a tax write-off for that.
Here's the page right here, guys. This is what it looks like. You can buy us 1 coffee, you can buy us 3 coffees, you can buy us 5 coffees, you can even leave a special note, and we promise to reply. There's even a video there, so we gave you a treat.
So buy me a coffee is at www.buymeacoffee.com/blind guy his wife.
It is scrolling at the bottom of the screen also, Corey, so it's there.
So again, we are here excited to be here with you today. And again, we do this every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today, we're going to start with a quick 5-minute story, and then we'll introduce you to our special guest. Our special guest today is none other than artificial intelligence engineer for Intel, Dr. Jerome Mitchell. We're going to bring Dr. Mitchell in to say hello to the guests really quickly.
So you guys are also going to get a sneak peek at today's guest. Hey there.
Hey, everyone.
Right.
How are you?
All right.
We are doing great, and we don't want to tell too much, but we will tell people. Well, they can see on the screen, Corey. He's an AI engineer, so we are not going to tell any of the top secret stuff that you're working on. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
So we're going to have a fantastic time. Lots of great stories from Dr. Mitchell and some of his work that he's doing out there in the research field for engineering. So we are ready to go. LaQuita Marie, as we move forward, you will be reading some of the comments or all the comments to me so that I can hear them since I can't see the screen.
Right. Since you can't see the screen, I got you covered, Corey. Thank goodness for me. I'm here for you. Hey, I got it.
All right. So are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's jump right into the comments. We've got people here saying good morning, Corey, all the way from the Netherlands on his way to Ghana. You already know.
My thoughts on everything.
My thoughts on everything. He says, hey, Corey is really, really good. I am learning from you, bro.
Oh, thank you. I've learned a lot along the way thanks to LaQuita Marie. And because we're storytellers and teaching artists, we have a great background in presentation. So thank you very much.
Yes, absolutely. So we've got him there having a good time with us. We also have here XDMC. He says, I already know you like your coffee black. No cream here.
You got it, brother. That's right. That's so funny because, like I said, in coming to America, sensuous chocolate, that's my sensuous chocolate over there.
Hey, XDMC says a quabab to the hardest working YouTube couples on the net. One love. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, XDMC.
Or should I say Barnstorming Productions? Because if you go to Barnstorming Productions on YouTube, that is XDMC's channel. He's a tech guy and he's all things professional. So That means he works with all the big companies. I can't say their names because we don't want to promote them. We just want to promote us. If you're looking to learn tech, though, you can always check out how it all works. Kirk Nugent is saying, hey, guys.
Kirk Nugent in the house, the geek preacher teacher in the house.
Absolutely.
I hope I got that right.
You got it right, because he says, congrats on the move. Like, we are doing things thanks to folks like you, Kirk. Kirk is a tech guy that I learned how to do a lot of stuff from watching how it all works. That's his channel. And works is like spelled like twerk, but with no T.
Come on, Kirk. Really, man?
Well, no, he didn't do that. I did that.
Oh, you did that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you did that.
It is WERKS, but it's not. I'm sure that's not what he
That's
did.
pretty cool, though, Kirk. I really like that.
Especially with preacher in his name. He's a spiritual man. He's not trying to have people doing all that kind of, let's get on to. Oh, you know what, Corey? Nieta McDonald is here, so we got my thoughts on everything laughing at you. But since Nieta McDonald is here, you guys, this is one of my favorite people in the world.
Nieta McDonald had a farm.
E-I-E-I-O. So I just got to fix things a little bit. Let me see what I can fix. Oh, if you notice there, we got our bag on. This little bag here was given to me by Nieta McDonald because my birthday is next week, guys.
And speaking of birthdays, we are at 952 subscribers.
Unless somebody else has subscribed.
Unless somebody else has subscribed. So if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to get to that 1,000 mark for LaQuita's birthday gift and celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King.
Oh, wait, my birthday is Monday, guys. January 18th. Right. I keep saying Monday or Tuesday. It's somewhere around there. Corey, you were talking about how we are storytellers. We got a storyteller in the house. He says, good morning. Glad to be in the house one more again. And who's going to tell it?
Tell it, don't tell it. Darlene Pritchett in the house. All right. You can go back and watch the replay on our video when Darlene visited with us and spent some time with us telling stories. And that was back a few weeks ago. So go check out our playlist on our channel and look up Darlene Pritchett's live stream.
You will see his photo there. We are updating our thumbnails because people like Kirk Nugent is saying, I love it. He is saying, update your stuff, refresh your stuff. We got all the tech people on our side. My thoughts on everything as a tech guy as well. He says, I can't wait for the tech guy interview. Yeah, we got to get you on here. We got to get Kirk on here. We got to interview all of our tech people. But today you will see an AI engineer. Guess who's laughing, Corey? Kanique, Kirk's wife, the Kanique Mighty Nugent. She says, ha, twerk.
Kanique, how you doing? Actually, nice to have you here today along with Kirk. And like I said, I think that was a good play on words. And like I said, you might be on something, Kirk, some Christian or gospel twerking.
Let me keep going. My thoughts on everything is asking if we're both interested in tech. Absolutely. That's how we were able to get to where we are today. But it's more me than Corey.
Yeah, I'm not a techie person. I do a lot of creative writing and things of that nature. LaQuita is the all-star, superstar, all-American, everything as far as tech is concerned, as far as everything that we do is concerned. And people look at her as a sidekick. I'm more the sidekick.
Well, when it comes to tech, Corey's the storyteller, I'm the sidekick. In that way, but we work well together. You know what I mean? We've got Shine Bright saying grand rising.
Shine bright, shining bright. All right.
Yes, and she is also giving me kudos on this bag. Which bag do you mean? Are you talking about?
Oh my goodness.
Well, hey,
fashion, hair, and makeup. Kurt, help me out, brother. How does my soul patch look? Does my beard look okay? How does this shirt go with my complexion? Let's see how boring that is. So.
Well, to you guys, I'm sure some of the guys were thinking, yeah, I gotta get my soul patch together. They're thinking about turtle wax and stuff. Right. So Kirk Nugent is saying, wow, 955 now. Hey, yeah, we're moving and grooving. We put out a call for people to subscribe because we are trying to get to 1,000. And we said, hey, it's a birthday challenge. So Corey, I say we speaking of challenges, I say we challenge our guest for today to get on in here. Let's go ahead and introduce him.
Yeah, we normally start with our word on the street today, and I'll actually do a quick word on the street.
Is this going to be a musical word on the street?
No, it's just going to be a word on the street. It's time for today's word on the street. Presented by Chocolate Thunder.
Oh, so I need to, okay, go ahead.
Today's word on the street is cold chilling. Now, for those of you that weren't born in that weren't around in the early hip hop era of the 1980s, cold chilling, basically means you just really, really relaxing. You're just chilling out. Nothing's bothering you. You are in a good space. But today's special guest is going to put a different meaning to that cold chilling term. We want to introduce to you today's special guest, artificial intelligence engineer with Intel, and an explorer in the Antarctic region. We're playing basketball without a basketball. Actually, we're playing it with a snowball with Dr. J, better known as Dr. Jerome Mitchell.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Thank you
Welcome. How are you doing today, Dr. Jerome? I'm just, checking you out today. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
With Dr. Jerome, we are very excited to have you here. We're going to jump right into your interview because you have a fascinating story to tell.
Yes, you know what, Corey? People are excited to have Dr. Jerome here today. As you guys can see, he's an AI engineer, and Kanique was laughing at you, Corey. She says, hilarious, soul patch. Y'all make me laugh. So now that we have, I know we want to talk about tech, but we've got a guy here, Corey. You got a chance, for some guy talk, or we could just go back to my bag because Linda Hayden says, love the beautiful bag. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Chocolate Thunder. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Welcome, Dr. Mitchell. Shine Bright is saying welcome. So, Corey, give it to us. You want to talk guy stuff, you want to talk AI, you want to talk Antarctic. Where are we starting?
I think we're going to start off on the frozen tundra. We're not talking about the Lambeau Field in Wisconsin where the Packers play. We're talking about the Antarctica. We're going to talk about the Antarctica. That's what we're talking about. Dr. Mitchell, at the age of 20, turned 21 on an ice sheet in Antarctica. Dr. Mitchell, how did you end up going on this exploration?
It all started at Elizabeth City State University, a part of a scholarship program with a partnership with the University of Kansas to study ice and its implications on global climate change. Elizabeth City, sitting right on the coast, it has very important implications to how sea level could rise and basically affect our area in northeast North Carolina, southeastern Virginia.
Right, because southeastern North Carolina is right on the coast, so we definitely want to be concerned with how the sea levels can rise and all of those good things.
Now, you mentioned Elizabeth City State. We're going to jump to one of the exciting parts of your work with Dr. Linda Hayden, who is in our chat.
Oh, yeah, speaking of Dr. Linda Hayden, Corey, she said, love the beautiful bag. Just so you know, I don't know if I mentioned that. She also told me happy birthday.
Okay. Dr. Linda Hayden, who was your mentor at Elizabeth City State. She's one of the lead research instructors in mathematics and global positioning, things of that nature. I can forget the actual term, but she actually introduced us to you. And there's a fascinating story that the work that you guys did at Elizabeth City State wound up having a bay named after the college in Antarctica. Can you explain that?
Yeah.
While you explain it, I'm going to pull up a couple of pictures as well so that we can see a picture of Antarctica with the Elizabeth City State Bay highlighted there. So tell us a little bit about it. Let's share that.
Yeah, so the Elizabeth City State University Bay was actually commissioned because from having a lot of data collected from weather stations across the ice sheet. So we basically interpolated some of that data and realized that there were some missing points of reference where things had moved over a course of time, and we wanted to kind of, put our stamp on it.
Got it. So right here, this is a picture of, Antarctica, and that circle, that spotlight right there is the bay that was formed. They can see the bullseye, Corey. It's on the left side or whatever but of the screen, where the bullseye is. And when Dr. Hayden was on here, she was explaining that using the GPS systems that she's a mathematician. So she was saying that they had mathematically calculated things in this area, and they saw how the ice sheets were receding, how the bay was forming, and that's how Elizabeth City State was able to get this name. But
and I think it's worth mentioning that not only is this the only college that has a geographical feature, a landmark named after it, it is an HBCU, a historically Black college university that has that distinction. So Go Vikings, mighty, mighty Vikings. That's my mother and her sisters and many of my relatives are graduates of Elizabeth City State. So Go Vikings.
Yes, and Philip Olo Jr. welcomes you, by the way. He says, welcome, Doc.
Now, Dr. Jerome, we're going to talk about how you actually landed there on that ice sheet in Antarctica. Tell us how your journey started at the age of 20 in December 2004.
And if it's okay with you, I will also, just kind of scroll through some pictures, and that way you can kind of explain to us what's happening in these pictures. And, I'll also share the map first. So that way, once you tell us about the first picture, I'll share the map so they have a point of reference as to where you are on there. Hey, Corey, Kanique says HU.
HU.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out all the HBCUs. You know what I mean? So this is good stuff. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about this. I'll pull up that picture of you. It looks like it's going to be a holiday photo, just so that you know, Corey.
1 minute though, Kanique, is that HU is in Henson University or HU is in Howard University?
Oh, good question.
You're starting a war over here.
Oh, I just thought about it after I said that, Dr. Mitchell. You're right. It does not matter. No, it does matter. You want to make sure you shout the right HBCUs.
Yes. So tell us about this picture right here.
Yeah, so fortunately or unfortunately, I got a chance to spend Christmas in Antarctica. This was in 2005. So to kind of back up a little bit, my journey started basically from Norfolk, Virginia, and then going from Norfolk to LA, and then LA to New Zealand, Christchurch, New Zealand, South Island. And from there, we took a U.S. military plane to the ice sheet. And so I went during our winter, which is actually their summer. And so when it's summer there, it's 24-hour daylight.
So I was trying to add your picture of like the map showing where, when you say it was 24-hour sunlight, I'm going to zoom in a little bit to show, some of the different locations. So go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, so this is an image of Antarctica. And so when you first come on the ice, you go to McMurdo Station. McMurdo Station is kind of like the base. It's where you get briefed on what to do, what not to do. You get the best meal you're going to get in Antarctica. And also some additional clothing to help prepare you for camp life in the field sites. So after, I think I spent maybe a few days in McMurdo, and then went to the West Antarctic ice sheet.
And Corey, so that McMurdo is like bottom right, and then up to the top, more, I guess, a little bit further north on this map is where WAIS, W-A-I-S, WAIS Divide Camp is, because there are several camps on this map, Corey. Right. Disciple Dome Camp is on there, Raid Camp is on there. And just so that you know, Corey, Philip Alder Jr. is shouting out Norfolk, hey, we got the home team in the house. And Kanika's laughing. She says that was a typo. She meant to say HBCU. She claims she's not trying to start.
Yeah, he's starting the war. You're trying to bring some smoke to the chat, Kanika. We gotta talk to Kirk about you.
Well, also Dylan says big ups to Matthew Henson and Dr. Mitchell. So two great doctors to mention. So we'll definitely discuss Dr. Henson as well. Kirk is agreeing this is awesome content. And then, of course, Philip Waldo Jr. wants to hear about additional clothing. So did you want to talk about Matthew Henson, Dr. Mitchell, or did you, Corey?
I'll talk. Matthew Henson was an African-American person who was leading the expedition to the North Pole. And he was the first person to step foot on the actual geographic North Pole. So that's Black history that it's not well known, but it is well known. It just depends on how much you study Black history. But yes, Matthew Henson was a great explorer who led the expedition to the North Pole.
Well, Corey, so you said the North Pole, and then Dr. Mitchell, you were explaining to us that you were down in Antarctica, which is down at the South Pole where the penguins are, because the polar bears are at the North Pole, right?
That's correct.
So you guys were pretty safe for the most part.
But what about the additional clothing?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, you're gonna need it. It's basically 3 layers of clothing. So you have the traditional like long johns, long underwear, and then you have some a little outer clothing, and then you have this big parka that kind of fits, kind of similar to like a long john, to like a overall, a heavy duty overall.
Yeah, so in this picture, like Corey, we can see that he's standing there with another guy. He's smiling. And I noticed you got a great tan. I know you said the sun shines really bright there, like it reflects even more
off the snow.
Off the snow, which I would have never thought you could get a suntan
from the snow.
Yeah, from the snow. So we see you there. Here's another picture of him working, Corey, just getting ready with tech stuff. And he's got all of his gear on. He has on gloves, of course. And I remember you were saying you had on a watch. I don't see the watch in this picture. Was that a part of your additional clothing? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
No, certainly not. Actually, it was kind of frowned upon to have a watch in the field, because the metal backing on the watch had direct contact with my skin. And the clothes unfortunately wasn't the best fit for me, because this is general issued clothes for scientists. So my wrists were exposed to the weather, and the metal backing with the content or the contact with my skin kind of created early stages of frostbite.
Wow!
Now you had to actually change your eyewear too, right?
Yeah, I had to get plastic glasses. I wasn't too hip with contacts at the time. And so I had to get plastic glasses because usually I wear wire frames, but because of the weather, the weather situations on the ice, I didn't want it to stick to my skin, so I had to get plastic glasses, and also they give you special UV sunglasses to help also add that layer of protection on your eyes.
Right. Now, with that cold out there, Dylan is saying what I was thinking. The brother gonna need some lotion. But we do have a question here. Kanik Mighty Nugent wants to know. She says, I wonder how that affects your eyes. Like, the sun reflecting off the snow can't be good. So with those glasses that they gave you, were they effective? Did your eyesight worsen, or was it about the same when you left?
Yeah, I certainly saw a big difference when I wore the glasses and when I didn't wear the glasses. My eyes got a little strained with the glare. So it certainly did help, the glasses with the protection.
Okay, and what did you use? Because we got people saying not lotion, Vaseline, Kanik Mighty Nugent, and Philip Waldo Jr. They're both telling Dylan, Vaseline. What did you know what to take? Right.
I remember I had some lip balm and sunblock.
Okay.
Now, you had a pretty harrowing and interesting experience. You had 2, actually. Can you tell us about the black flag, and can you tell us about the fuel leak?
Oh, you know what? So, and I will also show, there's a picture of you standing in front of a snowmobile that I'll share. And then I'll also share a picture where there's like a whiteout and you we can see like the outhouses there, because I know you guys did not have indoor plumbing. Things were pretty primitive. And so the two tall boxes that people will see on the screen will be, those outhouses. And then there are other snowmobiles behind it. But this photo here, you're right there next to a snowmobile. And so, Corey, you were saying, tell us about the fuel leak.
Tell us about the fuel leak, and then the time when you came too close to a black flag.
Oh, because the flags are in the back of this picture too, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the black flags means you might go through the ice. There might be a crevasse in the ice. The yellow flag is a pee flag where you can pee outside right there.
Don't eat that snow. Don't use that snow for drinking water.
And then there were other flags to let you know where the fuel is and stuff like that. So go ahead and tell us about your scary experience with that.
Well, the most scariest, I think, was the snowmobile incident where I took a snowmobile, didn't know it was leaking fuel. So we were going out collecting data, and so we collect data almost in a uniform way. So the person that on the actual radar is leading the pack, and the person in the middle is kind of like making sure that the first person is okay. And then the last person is just to make sure that everyone is okay. And so I was the last person in this caravan of people or snowmobiles. And I was just losing fuel on the ice, and I didn't know. And so all of a sudden, my snowmobile stopped on the middle of the ice, and I couldn't, yell or anything, because they wouldn't have heard me, because there was sizable gaps between the snowmobiles.
Wow.
And luckily, they had the GPS coordinates, because they realized I wasn't behind them, and
right.
I was stuck in the middle of nowhere. I mean, literally nowhere.
Yeah, we see in this picture, like, there's those two outhouses, there's some other snowmobiles, but other than these little blocks of things, whatever is here is what you guys brought. So you're literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and I was there for I was by myself for maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, wow.
But as a 20-year-old, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's a whiteout going to be coming. I'm going to be stuck out here. No one's going to know where I am.
Right.
But luckily, some other teammates went back and got some fuel so that I can try to take the snowmobile back to the camp.
Nice.
Now, we had a question in the chat from Donna Pritchard asking, what did you expect to experience when you got there? And that bridges us right to our next question. The experience that you had there led you on a journey, and you continued your journey to get your PhD, and now you're working in the field of artificial intelligence. How did you get to that point, from the experience on the ice sheet to working with Intel with artificial intelligence?
Yeah, so I think my experiences go far beyond any technical things I could have learned. I think that just being on the ice gave me a lot of patience, gave me a really appreciation for understanding the process, on how to do research. And it also helped me how to deal with myself in very hostile climate. So
absolutely.
So I think we can always say I gained some technology advance by going here. Certainly that will be the case, but I think far better understanding of myself and what my pressure points are and how I can deal with things in a stressful situation in corporate, for instance, it really helps.
So then let's make sure we know that we give our audience members going. Are you building cars that drive themselves? Because I know you work with Intel, and Sanal was saying, wow, what an amazing experience, to go from the ice sheets to now, being an AI, artificial intelligence engineer. So are you building those talking cars, those faucets that will pour you water? Are you building those things? Is that what Intel is working on, or what are you doing?
Yeah, certainly. So I see my role as more indirect to what you mentioned. So we build the processors to help fuel those exciting technologies like self-driving
Oh,
and
the
things like
platforms.
the platform.
So the base, the foundation, sort of like elementary school, once you go there and everybody knows how to read and write, you can really, go anywhere. Everybody's speaking the same language, no more baby talk and, stick figures.
Yeah, every technology will have a processor. That's for sure, right? Alexa has a processor to take in voice commands. There's so much technology. At the core of that is the CPU, and what we're trying to do at Intel is basically try to better improve that core to help maximize customers' experiences with the actual technology.
Understood.
So basically, Intel provides this. I put this in sports terms for myself.
Because you love football.
I love football.
Corey used to play football when he could see. He played high school football, and of course, as a blind person, he also taught, coached a football team with a friend of his. They were coaches, you know what I mean? And so Corey has to put a sports analogy in, or it won't make sense.
So basically, my analogy is this: Intel builds the stadium. And then that's the platform.
Because you gotta have a place to be.
You gotta have a place to be. And all the teams that come to the stadium to play are the different operations like Alexa, Siri, the car, self-driving car, the voice-operated faucet that pours water. So is that am I correct in my theory?
Yes.
Okay, well, I got it right for a change.
Right. And so with your AI engineer experience, this is just amazing. Dr. Hayden, she has said it all. She just said amazing with a bunch of exclamation points. And then Sonal makes a great point. Her son has a bachelor's degree in physics and math. She's going to share this video with him. He's going to love it because that's where you started. When you were in Antarctica, you were working on your undergrad, right?
Yeah. I was an undergraduate.
Right. And so here you are now, Dr. Mitchell, out here, got us, what are we doing now with artificial intelligence? Got us turning on the fans.
And artificial intelligence is going to have a great role to play in the world of people who have different abilities. Like you said, for the person that might be a paraplegic that needs the water, they may have a device that turns on the faucet for them. For me, I'm not going to do it right away until Dr. Mitchell says it's perfected, but the self-driving car, that means I could, actually get in the car and go somewhere and pray to God that the satellite does not go out while I'm in it.
Right, because you know what, Corey, when I said like turn on fans, remember the clap on, clap off?
Yeah, the clapper, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yes.
If you're out there, you remember the clapper, put in the comments and don't be ashamed of your age. Well, Dr. Mitchell, we appreciate everything that you brought to us today.
Yes, Atumpan Edutainment says fascinating.
We're going to have you back because I'm pretty sure as we go along, there's going to be more fascinating stories that we can get your expertise on. We're going to put you backstage and when you can hang out with us until the broadcast is over, and we'll talk to you then. But we want to wrap up today with Chef LaQuita Marie.
So wait, Corey, we gotta let the people say thank you. People trying to type in hands, they trying to type in thumbs up. That's why I had to squeeze in there that our children were like fascinating because they aren't into much, but of course kids are into tech. So they were like, this has been fascinating.
And like Sonal said, if you know a young person or not so young person that's into tech and looking for a career path, share this video with them and tell them to subscribe because we're going to be bringing on more mathematicians and engineers as we move throughout course of, especially with next month being African American Heritage Month. We celebrate it year round, but we're celebrating today's history makers, today's change makers.
Absolutely. Sonal was our guest yesterday, and so she was so much fun. So I didn't realize that her son, that was his field of study. So we are going to see you really soon. And of course, we've got to have you back to see what else you're working on, what other endeavors you're in. This has been wonderful.
Thank you.
So we're going to put you backstage, hang out there for a minute because now.
Wait a minute, Corey.
Oh, you got to still say it.
Yeah, Andra Africa is saying blessings, family. Kanique Mighty Nugent has all of those hearts on there saying, yes, she has loved this. And Milton Craft says, yes, our son is very interested in artificial intelligence. This is awesome. So just to let you know, the type of reception that our guest is giving you today. So, Yeah, Dylan Pritchett, the storyteller, approves, and so he's an elder. When I say elder, he's older than us. So we got.
Oh, Father.
So we value his words. He says awesome. We think you're awesome. Oh, Corey, we got more clapping hands. See what I'm saying? Philip Waldo Jr. is bigging you up. It just never ends.
Are y'all putting the clapping hands because we asked about the clapper?
No, actually, I think he is, clapping, but Philip Waldo Jr., I know him personally. He is kind of giving his age. He remembers that clapper. That's why he has so many clapping hands.
53.
All right, Dr. Mitchell, we will see you soon.
And now it's time for today's plant-based treat.
All right, guys, this is a wonderful one today. You already know we're trying to get you to eat more fruits and vegetables, and so here it is.
Pizza pockets or hot pockets.
Quick bread dough. I've got a 1/4 cup of sugar.
Dissolve sugar in 1.5 cups of warm water.
Going to add 2 tablespoons of yeast.
Let the yeast sit for 5 minutes. It'll foam up. All-purpose flour. Add 1 cup at a time.
1 tablespoon of salt. This is about a tablespoon of oregano. Oregano is an antibacterial agent that fights infections like staph. There we have some dried thyme going in. Thyme contains a compound that helps with bacterial, parasitic, fungal, or viral infections. Add some avocado oil. And I'm going to add 2/3 because I'm making a double batch. Add more flour, like another cup. And it's still very wet, so we'll go ahead and add some more. I'm going to go ahead and add another cup of flour. Actually going to add a little bit of oil.
Sprinkle a little flour to keep the dough dry.
Put the towel on top. All right, so I'm going to just take the lid off of this. I have a vegetable filling that I created already.
Preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake 8 to 10 minutes until golden brown.
And we can just rub a little butter on top.
We use a plant-based butter.
All right, so we're gonna just grab one of these.
I like the plant-based sausage. I like the bread. I like the butter on top too.
You can buy plant-based sausage, but Chef LaQuita Marie, she made our plant-based sausage.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Blind Guy,
His wife,
Their Life Live. Don't forget to share this information if you found it helpful for someone else. Make sure if you haven't subscribed. We're trying to hit that 1,000 before LaQuita Marie's birthday on January the 18th, which is Monday. She's turning 70. Okay, and with that being said, we want to also encourage you to hit the notification bell so you know when new content is coming out. Don't forget, if you don't want to see us on screen looking like buy me a coffee. Go to buymeacoffee.com/blind guy his wife and buy me a coffee.
It's scrolling right there at the bottom of the screen, guys. We have had so much fun with you today. And Philip Waldo Jr. is throwing shade, Corey. He is clapping because that Deep Creek Elementary lessons have kicked in.
One,
that was Corey's elementary.
1, 2. That's an inside joke, y'all.
Sadal was saying, woo, thank you, Kanika. I'm glad you love the plant-based treat. We're trying to get everybody to eat more fruits and vegetables.
And don't forget to check out the geek preacher teacher, Kirk Nugent himself, on how it all works.
Corey, say goodbye.
All right. Normally we say goodbye by saying deuces. But today what we're going to say is, we out. Deuces.